Okay, so we left off in the last video having added some DIDs and created a rate center and created a voice provider, and what I want to show you here in the beginning of this video is that I've imported a rate deck here, and I have a number of rates. You can see I have over 100,000 rates in here, and this is pretty typical. You're going to have a lot of rates from your provider. So as we take a look at this, you can see the name is listed here, we have the prefix that it matches on, and then what the rate is we're going to charge per minute. And these names will show up in the call records when we rate calls, along with the prefix, and then we'll use the rate to calculate how much we want to charge. So even though there's a lot of records in here, we can search this pretty rapidly. I can look for anything matching United. Let's look for United Kingdom. I could also search by a prefix. So let's say we search for 447. It's going to give me everything that has 447 in it, or we could even search by the rate. You can see it's pretty easy to take a look at our rates here, and when we need to update these, all I need to do is come in, re-import the deck, and when I import a deck, it's going to remove all the existing rates, and then it's going to import the new rates. Okay, so let's move into creating a voice service. If I go to System and then Services and then Services, we can create a voice service, and a voice service is how we sell voice to a customer. So if I create a new service, and we'll call this something like, let's say residential standard, and my default rate for this is $24.95 a month. It's a recurring service, right? So when we're creating a voice service, you want to come down here and check this is a voice service, and then we get a whole lot of configuration we can do for this service, and you can have as many of these as you need, and you can even have multiple voice services on a single account and then associate different DIDs with each service in order to do different billing for different DIDs. So let's step through the configuration of this form piece by piece and set up exactly what we want in order to sell voice service to our customers. First, we need to define our local prefixes. So a local prefix is going to be some calling area that we want to treat as a local call. For example, in Wisconsin, there's a few different area codes. Common ones are 414, 262, 920. Let's say I'm selling service in a 414 area, and I want to treat any calls to any number that begins with 414 as local. I'd put 414 in here and hit enter. Maybe I also want to treat calls to 262 as local, and I can do that. You can enter as many prefixes as you want here, and they don't all have to be just the area code. I could enter something like 414, 123, and then if that matched on any calls, we treat that as local. Generally speaking, you're only going to use an area code, so you're going to use 3 digits here, but it's up to you. The next option is to define unlimited local minutes or to define how many local minutes are given. If it's unlimited, then every local call that's associated with the service will be free. It'll never be charged for. If it's not unlimited, we can set how many local minutes are free. Maybe I want to give 500 free local minutes and then charge 1 cent per minute after that. I can do the same thing for long distance, make it unlimited, or I can set a number of long distance minutes and then charge some rate per minute after that. The way we determine what a long distance call is in Sonar is because we currently support 10-digit DIDs. If a call is 10 digits and it fits within a local prefix, it's local. The next thing we look at is if it's in the international rates, because you can have 10-digit calls to places like the Bahamas or Canada or Mexico that you may need to still charge an international rate for. And so if the prefix matches in the international deck, we'll charge it at that rate and we'll mark it as international. Finally, they'll fall back to being long distance. So typically that all works out as you have those places like the Bahamas and Canada in your rate deck. That gets fallen into, and then we'll come back to it being long distance after that. Next option we have is our inbound toll-free rate. So if you're selling toll-free services to customers, like you're giving one of your customers a toll-free number, you probably want to charge for inbound calls. And so we can set that rate here. I can say all inbound toll-free calls are going to be 4 cents a minute. So this would only apply to a customer who has a toll-free DID on their account, and we see a call in the rate deck to that toll-free number. Last option we have is to set our first interval and our sub-interval. So this is how we determine what our minimum blocks are to bill for. So all of our rates we set up are per minute. In our international rate deck, all the rates are per minute. These local and long distance rates are per minute, but we can actually bill in second increments if we want to. So let's say what we want to do is every call is billed at least 1 minute, so 60 seconds. So even if somebody makes a 5-second call, we're going to bill them for a minute. We put 60 in here. However, after that, maybe we want to bill in 6-second increments or 15-second increments or 30-second increments. Let's say we wanted to do 6. I could put a 6 in here. So what this would mean is that a 5-second call would get billed at 60 seconds because it falls within that first interval. But if somebody made a call for 66 seconds, they would be billed for exactly 66. If they made a call for 61 seconds, they'd be billed for 66 because we do the first interval for the 60, and then that remaining 1 second will get rounded up to 6. So hopefully that explains how to set up your voice services. Next we're going to move into associating some DIDs to customer accounts and then rating a CDR.